Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Argueta coming to you, and we are in week number 5. So welcome back, everyone. Last time we really got to interact via a discussion was week number 3, because last week was our checkpoint week, and the week before that was a spring break. So I hope everybody has been able to acclimate back into the routine of courses and class and online discussion. So we're ready to go. So let me preface this with saying that our midpoint check I'll be reviewing this week. It's pretty simple, guys. I want to give you the understanding of what this concept is like. As I said from day one, this is a team project. Exactly what it sounds like. There's nothing misleading about it. If you are not participating in the team, your team will say it. We mentioned this in the past. The self-regulating team, it's going to basically call out the members of the team that is not participating or holding up to their end of the bargain. If you're sitting there thinking, could that be me? It probably is you. Because a team that works together knows they're working together. They're usually in sort of the mindset of each other. They understand each other. They're meeting the deadlines. They're working together. And I know everyone's life is busy. You are not the exception of the rule. We're all busy. Every one of your team members are busy. For some reason, there's been times where people feel like you're the only one that's going through difficult times. You're not. There's a lot of people going through hard times, different situations, different scenarios. They're taking care of family members. They have people who are sick. They have unfortunate events happening. They're working 2 full-time jobs. They're working night shift. They're doing this. They're doing that. That is not just you. That is everyone around you. That is people in your team. It's about the effort you put into everything that you do. And I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here. I just want to let you know that this is a team project. And in this class, you will be graded by your team, because at the end, your team will self-regulate. They will say, this person didn't meet the deadline. This person's hard to communicate with. This person didn't do this. And your grade will be impacted by that. Nothing was unclear. I made it very clear. This is all about the team effort. This is all about understanding that when you go into the workforce, this is what is expected of you. So this is only a 7-week course. And I know things happen. I get it. But please, you got time to recuperate. You got time to re-establish that connection. For the team leaders and for the team members, I ask you to have mercy and grace and allow those that maybe haven't participated to kind of redeem themselves. Be patient, because that's a part of also management. In management, you're going to end up with a team member that maybe doesn't start off the best way. And you have to have patience and forgiveness and understand that it's part of what we do in management, as we understand that people are in different places in their lives and they might need there might be slow starting. They might not understand how everything operates. So this is good on both sides of it. So make sure you guys are keeping things in perspective as well, okay? Be graceful and merciful and patient, and understand that that comes with management. Part of management is not just about managing the process, which is a big part of management, but it's also about people and people's characters and people's demeanors and situations and how you address those issues. So I will be reviewing. Now, I will let you know that if your file doesn't look like your team member's file, I know something's wrong, and you will be docked for those points. Your team should submit a very, very similar file, if not the exact same file. It'll be evident when your file is different, because you're not working with your team, and I know you're not working with your team. That's the purpose of the midpoint check, to see if the teams are cohesively working. Now, that said, let's put that behind us and let's start working as a team if we have not yet reached that performing stage. Remember that from a couple weeks ago? If we're still in the storming stage as a team, we need to facilitate ourselves into that performing, into norming and performing. So please allow that to happen. If you are the person that is leading the team, help. Remember that conversation that we had? Help facilitate this norming, help facilitate this move out of the storming stage and go into norming and start performing. Because now, this week, we are just having one discussion. No assignments are due. You don't have to submit nothing other than your discussion. And the discussion is the proper use of artificial intelligence in a college discussion. Obviously, some of you have been guilty of this, and some of you don't even know what this is, but people prompt things out. I've been around for a second. I have ChatGPT Plus. I pay a subscription to be a part of a higher level of ChatGPT. I know when you're prompting it. I could see it. Now, I'm not the type of instructor that's going to be like, that's it, 0. I get it. But the real world will catch up to you because AI is great. It's a wonderful tool. I utilize it. I use it to do different things. I use it to research. But AI will not get you a great job. And they will know when you cannot process information properly, when you cannot address things properly, when you cannot work with a team, because information is awesome and it can get you through a paper at college, but it won't be able to sustain you a job when you have to do it yourself. The world is a lot smarter than you think. There's a lot of people that need help, but the real success comes when you're able to do something creatively, when you're able to utilize the tools available to you to create something of value for a company. Like, I can hire anyone to just put something on ChatGPT, but are you able to use that information to really bring value to a company? And that's where I get impressed. That's where the world gets impressed. That's who I would look to hire. I want to hire someone that knows more than just simple tricks to get through the workday. I want them to improve, be efficient, be better, be creative. Those are the successful people in business. So definitely want to hear your conversation around this topic. Since it's just a discussion, I am going to hold you up to a higher bar because I believe that you can have an actual valuable discussion around this concept. How do you use ChatGPT? Talk to me about those questions, like what's the right way to use it, how to not over depend on it. But here recently, I've been playing around with the concept of like how to use it to do research on companies, stocks and bonds and things that I want to project and see what is a good dividend stock. What's a stock that's going to pay me quarterly returns on the money that I've invested and things like that. But you tell me, here's another tool that I use. So my wife and my daughter and her sister, they're doing a girls trip to Guatemala, and they use ChatGPT to kind of tell me what's the best places to go visit. What is the cheapest flights and when should I be looking to buy flights? A year from now, we're looking to going to Puerto Rico for spring break. And I looked on ChatGPT. I said, when's the best time to purchase tickets to Puerto Rico? It'll do all that research. Instead of me going in there and Googling all that information, it will already provide it for me. That's good. That's helpful. It saves me time. I can also put on there things like, create an itinerary for a 5-day trip to Puerto Rico. What should I be looking and where should I be going to visit? What's the top destinations or tourist sites? And it created that. And then I can pick and choose what I want, right? So it's an awesome tool. I've used it for recipes. I've also used it because I follow certain diets and I want to make sure that I, do my diet correctly. So I've used ChatGPT and I said, create me a 5-day low-fat, no-gluten, lactose-free diet. And it showed it to me. And then I said, can you create a shopping list for me of the items that I will need from Trader Joe's, let's say. And then it created me a list. Or from Publix and created me a list. And then I can see, well, I got this at home, I got that. So it makes life amazing and easier and more efficient. But there's a limit to it. There's a certain limit to it because they created something that maybe I didn't like, right? I'm not a big fan of like salmon patties. And they said, hey, salmon patties is a good option for you. I'm not that. I love salmon, but not salmon patties. I find it not something that I would enjoy. So, of course, in that scenario, I only use it to provide me ideas and information. I didn't live by the rule, but people are now becoming over dependent on this type of technology, where they're not able to conceptually do anything. They can't process any information. So I'm very intrigued. Okay, that said, next week is our week number 6, which is essentially our last week. It's going to be our final thoughts. So this is your opportunity to kind of tell me, about what's going on next, what's happening in your life. It's our final goodbye. I will give you my final farewell video, and then week number 7, you submit your final project. It'll take me about a week to submit that. Of course, your final grade will be available to you at your MyGNTC under your grades. But if you guys have questions prior, you know how to get a hold of me. Now, it's tough for me because people will tend to try to be like, can you tell me what my grade is? You'll have to wait till it gets posted. But you should know. You should know, because by now, you should know what your work looks like. And prior to the final submission, team leaders, if you wanted to schedule a call, I'm available. If you wanted to say, hey, can we talk about, what's going on, how confident you feel about submitting your work. So I am looking forward to it. You got 2 weeks, basically. All you have to do is a quick discussion, but work with your teams. I can't emphasize that enough. The class is literally called Team Project. So please know your grade will be impacted by that. So I will talk to you guys all soon. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye.